Hello to the Swedish people. What if I just did the entire video in a really bad Trixie Mattel Swedish accent? Wouldn't that be fierce? Hey, welcome to my video. If you're from my Instagram, I love you. And if you're not from my Instagram, love you all the same. Welcome to another travel vlog. So as you can see, I'm already in a different location. I'm actually in my grandpa's home. And from here, my best friend and I are gonna take a flight to Sweden. I am really excited because I have heard amazing things about Sweden. And actually my best friend and I are long distance besties. And so we don't really get to catch up live as much as we would like to. And traveling is such a fun, perfect way to do that. We also have similar travel styles, so wherever we go, we have fun. But specifically, I have a really good feeling that this is gonna be such a fun trip. Neither of us have ever been before, so we're both buzzing, obviously, but right now it is 1 p.m. I do have a few hours to kill. Naturally, I have some packing left to do because, of course, I wouldn't be me unless I did everything absolutely last minute. So I'm gonna go do that, and then we're gonna board a flight to Malmo, I believe is how you pronounce it. I might be wrong, honestly, because I am not the queen of pronunciation, honey. But anyway, I will see you and talk to you once we arrive. Hello to the Swedish people. What if I just did the entire video in a really bad Trixie Mattel Swedish accent? Wouldn't that be fierce? No? Just me? Okay, I won't do that. Anyway, girl, it is now almost 2 a.m. actually, and we're here at the good old Best Western. We finally made it. I do have to give a little disclaimer if you plan on coming here. The border control at the airport is really fierce. They're really good at doing their job, and so they ask you why you're traveling, who you're here with, how long you plan on being here. They even ask for proof, screenshots of your reservations, of your airplane tickets, all of that stuff. Now, since my friend and I already sort of read about this beforehand, we had those ready to go, so that really wasn't too big of an issue. As soon as you show them proof that you're here for as long as you say you are and that you're just a tourist trying to relax, they calm down and they let you through. But it did take a little bit longer than planned, so that's why we're here now. And considering the fact that it is 2 a.m., we are just taking showers, we're gonna take off our makeup, and then we're gonna go to bed, and tomorrow the real adventure begins. Good morning. So as you were able to see, we had a little bit of breakfast, we had a bite to eat, and then we got ready, got dressed. This is the outfit, by the way, nothing special. But before I tell you where we're going today, I do have a little bit of a random drugstore recommendation for you. I bought this invisible protection spray with SPF in it. By the way, it is SPF 50, and I bought it at the DM drugstore. If you have one in your country, run out and go buy this, honestly, ASAP, because the nozzle on this is incredible. The spray is so fine, it literally does not ruin your makeup while protecting your face. And I bought a similar one of these last spring, I believe, from a different brand that shall remain nameless, and it wasn't good. It just ruined my makeup. It was like somebody was spitting on you, so it was really not cute, but this one, slay. Anyway, now that we have that out of the way, today we're going to Copenhagen because it's simply just a quick train ride away, and we really want to see and explore, but we're also going to go on a little walk around our hotel, around our area. So let's go and see where the day takes us. So these are just some parts of everything we saw in Copenhagen. I didn't film everything, but you'll see additional pictures later on. But now first we went and saw this famous shopping street, and then naturally, obviously, we had to move on to the very well-known canal district with the colorful 17th century townhouses. And they were in fact as beautiful as they looked. And I'm gonna be honest here, the place itself was quite crowded, but in my opinion, it also could have been way worse. However, with that being said, we needed to take a little break, so we went and got some churros. They were delicious, albeit quite expensive, but afterwards we went and saw this gorgeous art gallery and then the Amalienborg Palace, home to the royal family. And now you guys, this park was possibly the most gorgeous park I've ever seen with my own two eyes. Seriously, the grass couldn't have been greener, and I do mean that quite literally. It was so funny the way we acted here, almost as if we've never seen or been to a park in our entire lives. But honestly, I feel like that was kind of justified because it really was that beautiful. After that, we decided we wanted to have a bite to eat, and we settled on this street food venue that had lots of stalls, but we obviously opted for a Danish hot dog, and then later on had some ice cream as a sweet treat, and all of it was so delicious. Okay, now back to me in the room. You guys, I am back in the room once again. I hope you were able to see the beautiful, beautiful things we saw today. Of course, you saw just a snippet, but we actually spent the entire day in Denmark pretty much. It is now like almost 12 p.m. Yeah, no, it was 12 a.m. And we have walked pretty much 16 kilometers, honey. You probably can't see that, but we did. And we are tired, but honestly full of like life and energy. Denmark was so beautiful, and honestly spending a whole day there was not enough for us, so we're going back tomorrow. Tomorrow we're actually going to go to the Tivoli Gardens, while today we just perused the streets, visited a bunch of parks, ate good food, saw some local districts. I mean, the list goes on and on, but the vibes we got from that place were immaculate, truly. I'm also gonna try and pop in some pictures here for you just so you could see some of the fun times that we had there. But yeah, even though it's honestly just barely day one, this trip has already exceeded my expectations completely. How are you? Are you doing well? What are you doing? Let me know down in the comments below, and I will see you back here again for day 2. Hello you guys, welcome to a new day, same breakfast. So it's Copenhagen day 2, and I have to tell you, it was so cold today that we had to go and get coffees at the espresso house to go before moving on to the King's Garden and Rosenborg Castle. And while the castle itself is grand and beautiful, the garden was so stunning on its own, we simply couldn't get enough. I mean, just look at it all. But eventually, we did get a little bit peckish and wanted to try Danish pastries at Buka before moving on to the main event, the Tivoli Gardens. And what a unique place, honestly. It's like a garden, amusement park, entertainment, and even concert venue all wrapped into one, I'd say. And you don't have to worry about anything, things like food, drinks, because you don't even have to exit the park to get them. All of that to say, Gasoline Grill was pretty bomb, and the park itself gets even more and more beautiful as the day goes on, because when the sun begins to set, they turn on these gorgeous fairy lights and it looks quite magical. But all good things must come to an end, so eventually we did have to go back to our hotel, even though we really didn't want to. Well, hello everybody, good evening. Actually, I haven't even properly said good morning to you this morning, so good morning, I guess. Anyways, we are back in the room right now, and I made myself a little comfortable here on the bed. I hope you don't mind, but I really want to tell you a little bit about my day and my thoughts about Copenhagen, mostly so far. So this morning we ended up having breakfast at the hotel, and then we went to the Rosenborg Castle and did a little bit of the sightseeing there. And afterwards, I believe we had a late type of brunch vibe at the Buka Bakery, which is really famous here. And I would say that it is in fact appropriately hyped because the pastries were really delicious. But within saying that, I want to say one thing, which is that I feel like I've been in Copenhagen now for 2 days, right? And I feel like there are a lot of things here to do and sights to see that are mostly free, like for example the castle, or we also went to the botanical garden after brunch, and it was beautiful, and I would definitely recommend it to everybody. It is free, and that's amazing, but now sooner or later you're definitely gonna have to eat something, okay? And when it comes to food, I feel like Copenhagen is pretty expensive. Now, I will say that that's relative depending on where you come from, right? But from where I come from and for generally Europe, in my opinion, it is kind of expensive. So that is something to note if you're planning on traveling here. Anyways, afterwards, we went to the Tivoli Gardens, and you guys, it is honestly phenomenal. So it is basically like this park, outdoor garden type of area, but it is also an amusement park as well because there are a lot of rides, and we did end up riding all of them. I wish I could have filmed that part more, but honestly, even if that were allowed, which it's not, it's actually prohibited to use your phones and cameras while you're on the rides. But even if I could get away with it, I feel like I would so easily drop my little phone or camera because I am in fact a klutz, and so that just wouldn't work for me. But anyways, we had an incredible time riding all of the rides. They were really fun. But even if that's not your jam, I feel like I could have just spent so many hours just walking around there and oohing and aahing and marveling at all the beautiful things that there is to see. But yeah, that's kind of generally where I'm at right now. Now tomorrow, we're actually staying here in Malmo. We're gonna sightsee here, and I'm really looking forward to that too, honestly. So I'll definitely let you know what we get up to tomorrow, and I hope you stay tuned. A basic breakfast for a basic girl. That's me. So today we're exploring Malmo, and this neighborhood was literally a 5-minute walk from our hotel, which is incredible because look how beautiful. Are you kidding? Now, you know we couldn't have only visited Danish parks, we also had to give Sweden a fighting chance, so we visited this one and it was absolutely stunning. I will also say that the cinnamon twists at Espresso House had us in a chokehold clearly, but eventually we did also have to eat an actual meal after seeing the main square, so we picked Swedish meatballs with all the fixings. IKEA, eat your heart out. Hey, how y'all doing? So I'm reporting to you live from the room, as you can see, and as usual, today we really spent our time exploring Malmo, and at first we went around this neighborhood that was close to us. It was really close to the water and it was so beautiful. And then we went and roamed around the center, took in some landmarks, saw the square, ate Swedish meatballs, which was incredible, and I have to say they were really tasty. And I also liked the full experience. However, today was really windy, and so I feel like my friend and I almost caught a head cold at a certain point. Listen, okay, Sweden is not for the weak at heart, or I guess for the cold at body. I don't know how to say that, but you get my meaning. Anyways, it's been windy pretty much every day here, but today the wind operated at a level that was completely out of this world. So we ended our day a little early. I believe we came back to the room at around 7, and both of us just knocked out and took a nap, which isn't really like us, to be honest. We were planning on doing some other things today, but it just simply did not happen. The nap needed to take us. And we also had to start pre-packing and planning what we were gonna do tomorrow since our flight is late at night. Well, not really late at night, it's at 9 p.m. But that means we still have like half a day left to do certain things. But I don't know how that's gonna pan out either because again, we're a little tired from today. I guess I'll see. We don't really want to force ourselves. We can't afford to get sick after this trip. Mind you, if you've been on this channel, you know that I get sick after literally every single trip pretty much, but I am actively trying to change that. So we're gonna take it as easy as we possibly can while still trying to do fun things. But yeah, that's it. I don't know if I'll be able to talk to you tomorrow because of our schedule, but if not tomorrow, then I'll definitely check in once I get home with my final thoughts of this trip. Okay, so home is where the good lighting is. As you can see, I'm back, and these are my final thoughts about the trip. First of all, I am very happy we went and visited both Sweden and Denmark. I think each place is individually very special. For example, Denmark, I feel like while it was full of tourists, especially the places that we went to visit, it still somehow didn't make me feel as crowded as some other places I have visited before did. And even though we were there for only 2 days, I feel like each direction you went to, you could see a million different things. And so that was very fun. Another thing we both feel about both Sweden and Denmark is that we've felt safe overall. And since we are two girls traveling together, I think that's really an important thing to note. And when it comes to Sweden, the area that we stayed in Malmo was so peaceful and so beautiful. As you were able to see, we were right by the water and the pier was so beautiful. All we did was walk. The food was great, the people were very warm and welcoming, and we're overall so happy that we went, and we would go back again. So I hope you enjoyed today's travel vlog. If you made it this far, you are a world traveler and don't let anybody tell you any differently. And thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, please consider liking, subscribing, maybe even commenting, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!